you suck.
What? You've
Good
got like
job.
1,000 of them. Give me 20. Give me some more.
Maybe if you get all your predictions right.
Okay, I'll try. But here we go. Game 1. Best of 3. Liquid up against Team Secret. Of course, Team Secret did have a bit of a warm-up against ITB earlier on. They won in that best of 1, or game 3 of the best of 3, whichever way you want to look at it, earlier on today to get themselves in this spot. As Liquid, I mean, coming into this, obviously having to prepare for 2 teams, but probably preparing more for Secret, knowing the caliber of this squad and knowing what they're going to be bringing to the table. Are we doing our predictions then? First player to get 15 denies.
I don't know, SF, and then I guess Secret for first Roche kill. How long will the game be? I don't know, 30... these games will go really long. 37 to 44, and then highest net worth by 25.
37 to 44, 60 plus minutes.
Oh, fine, 60 plus minutes. And then highest net worth at 25.
Lena.
Rezo.
Oh, okay.
30 seconds to battle.
Okay.
Could be Lena. It could be Lena.
DP, okay.
I mean, I love the Rezo DP. Because I feel like his lane's going to be really nice. It's against a Pudge. If he doesn't... I mean, we've seen DPs get hooked twice and die twice and to this Pudge lane. And they still come back and recover and get to that high net worth position. And I don't think they have... I guess they could do a cask into a hook. That's probably the biggest thing they have to be careful about in this top lane.
The battle begins.
Yeah, especially if you're chasing the Witch Doctor down. Oh, Matu. Missing his hook top or down at bottom. Boxy rebounding away. So Secret getting their hands on 3 bounty runes. Early days here. Boxy gets that final one out on the map. But yeah, Zayat's up at top. He was actually able to take the rune before Matu could hook it. A pretty close one.
Shame for him. But good. Good for Secret.
Oh man, look at bottom.
Okay.
This Darkseer, he's being held away. Frost Blast from Lich. Chrysalis was there zoning him away. It looks like Boxy's going to try and come in. Secure whatever last hit he can as the Marcy gets on top of Puppey. Iron Shell doing a bit of damage, but this Celestial Hammer, it's a serious problem for Boxy as he gets Frost Blasted, and the Fairy Fire is required to keep him alive a little longer. Crystallis trying to give chase here.
He wants that first blood money.
He
wants it more than anything else in the world.
He's got a hammer. Boxy's trying to juke him, but there we go with a burning damage. Crystallis needs one more tap in the back of the Marcy to get the first blood for Secret.
Yeah, you're not even losing that much in the lane right now. We're on to the second waves, and it's pre-reset. He got the solo XP for that first blood as well as the gold. And now he's just going to ferry himself out boots and a clarity. This is exactly how you're meant to play a Darkseid lane in early levels. He is honestly so weak. He wants to use his Ion Shell to farm the creeps. It's hard to just stick one on himself, one on his support and try and trade. Because the damage is just not that much. The spell is very weak. So this was really nice from them to just instantly zone Zai out of the lane. And then honestly just punish Boxy as being the only one with the shell. The only one that can do damage. And because Zai's not going to do anything, you know? So if you can go on Boxy like that, it makes his lane much harder on Zai.
Yeah, that's that cool adaptation, right? Usually with Dawnbreaker lanes, and it's usually in the off lane, we're waiting for level 2. It's like, when does Dawn hit level 2? When does that kill happen? But here in the safe lane against the Darkseer, they make it happen a little earlier on as they continue fighting with Zai and whittling away at his resources here. As Boxy does get a nice large camp pull, so at least the wave will be dragged back towards Dire's side, and Zai can get a little bit of that farm back towards himself. There's gonna be a lot of focus on his bottom lane, though.
That's true. As much I want to talk about, because Darkseid is one of my favorite heroes, and his laning is honestly just the weirdest part of him. It's always hard to get a normal human lane out of him where he's just laning normally because of his weaknesses. You'll usually see a lot of wave cutting from pos 4s and stuff, and it's also really hard, I feel like, for even pro teams to judge the strength of this hero. Because sometimes you'll buy trading items on your pos 4 and then you quickly realize that you can't trade because the hero isn't that powerful, and then you do result to just a lot of wave cutting and stuff. You'll see these hard camps getting pulled and just general trying not to properly lane. It's kind of the timing for Darkseer is always just on whenever you get more points in Iron Shell. If you get 2 points in it, you get 3 points in it. This level 3, this level 5, these are kind of big points for it where you might see them try and turn up and aggress. Puppey moving out of position with 2 Iron Shells on them could easily kill him. Especially
with a hero like Marcy, right? You know, in days gone past, we used to see the Spirit Breaker, the Earth Spirit, with this Darkseer to play aggressively. While up at top, We'll take a peek into there as Rezo drops pretty low. Insania now trapped in the cogs and turned on, though. Very far up for Rezo is going to keep him alive through the Maledict. And don't bring the DP down. And down bottom, they're going at it again. Chrysalis not going to land his Starbreaker, but a big Frost Blast with the shield, slowing the retreat from Liquid. And a big creep wave arriving. Zai, if he dies here, it's going to be losing out a lot of this wave. And Chrysalis, that tree block didn't quite work out for the Darkseer. Another Frost Blast from Puppey gets it. Disposed back across the tower, but it's aggroed onto a range creep. So Chrysalis, he'll Starbreaker. Keep Boxy away. Puppey did still die in the end. But a good dive onto this Zai Darkseer, keeping him down.
Yeah. Pretty sad. I wonder... He didn't have buyback either to kind of come back into lane for that XP or anything. I don't know if he would have anyway, but sometimes when you see such a massive wave, you're just like, I am despairing right now.
Yeah, please give me the experience. It's like you're saying, he wants those points in Iron Shell as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the third lane in Dota 2. We've got 3 corridors here on this map. Nisha, 24 and 7, starting to take a handle on this lane. But Mickey has brought up stick raindrops, trying to mitigate some of this damage, but it looks like he's losing out in the long run.
God dang it. I voted him for the most denies by 15 minutes and he has none.
Whoopsie
I don't know why I
daisy.
did this. I should have voted for Lena. Yeah, this top lane is pretty okay for Rezo. The more levels he gets in this Spirit Siphon, it's obviously very scary to play into the Maledict. Usually you combat that with some early Fairy Fires and like sticks and stuff. Because the burst heal, you know, right, Maledict works off how much damage you take, so with the heal it makes it a lot nicer to deal with. He's gone for a raindrop as well. So they're just going to be trying to play to just survive and be able to skirmish a little bit.
I mean, looking at bottom again, yeah, it's difficult for the Liquid players to play the lane. They're kind of hiding in fog, scared of this Puppey Lich, who is level 3 now. A lot of nuke damage from that Frost Blast. But Boxy, trying to play forward and disrupt the pull. Gets a good amount of damage there, thanks to the Observer Ward that's deep. Scouts out the Lich. And Zayat, now the target on top, the Clockwork. He drops low. Not sure he'll actually die to this. There's one more tick that'll take him down to 40 HP. But surviving the burst from Liquid.
Super close. They're going on Chrysalis.
Oh, yeah. Chrysalis. Frost Shield. He's got a Fairy Fire. Oh, and Shell going to be doing too much damage here, though. He's got boots, but he's not fast enough to outrun Zai and Boxy. One more rebound will claim the kill on him. So a bit of recovery from Liquid, while in the mid lane, top rune spot, Lena finding the Witch Doctor with a Laguna Blade. Shadow Fiend. 1 raise, 2 raise. Maledict still there on the Lena. Has a Fairy Fire. Not going to be enough damage. This is now a bit of room for Mickey. Knowing that Lena is kind of out of resources, might have to go back home. She decides not to.
He went for 3 points in Shadow Rays. Some of these SFs we've seen have gone only 2 points in it. I've even seen some of these pros going for like points in attributes and stats before maxing out the Shadow Rays. But this time we'll see 3. I think 3 is the max that people usually leave it at before they go for Necro Mastery.
There's a bit of a difference between safe lane and mid SF,
That's
though,
true,
right?
yeah.
I think mid SF's favoring raises more, and then safe lane SF's, you're right. Kind of the Mask of Madness stats plus passives build. Don't even bother leveling raises sometimes.
What is a good build for him this game? Because we've seen these Dragon Lances, and I'm definitely not opposed to that this game because you're playing into a Clockwork. So you want to be able to build that Hurricane Pike, like 4 staff, to keep yourself safe and not have to rely on having to pop like a BKB if you get gone on.
Oh, they're charging towards Chrysalis down bottom. The surge and rebound, allowing Boxy to close the gap. Starbreaker cancelled by the vacuum, and Chrysalis getting blasted down while Nisha rotated here. Does kill off Zai with a Laguna Blade. But Liquid with a numbers advantage and now still having vision over Nisha. Stick around for a little bit longer.
Okay.
And I had a go on Insania top at the same time, but he's got a salve to regen back up.
I really like what they're doing bot with the vacuum. Like Chrysalis never being able to get off the Starbreaker is really annoying because he's kind of relying on it to stun them and walk away, and they're never giving him it. The constant reposition and these levels coming out, I think they've pretty much utilized every possible moment to go on Chrysalis when they can, and it's going really well for them. And now like we're just gonna see like rotations around the map. Laning Sage is gonna break down. These runes are gonna be very important as well. If SF can take like a haste rune, for example, or even this invis and like TP to a lane or something, he can easily kill someone. and give him that extra gold before he swings back to mid and just keeps pushing out the lane.
Is under attack.
Yeah, like Maledict into Razors. That's a good way to burst through Resolution top. I tried to hook him into the trees, but Matu finding a creep instead. This is Rezo thinking about Exo. Doesn't use it just yet. A little bit afraid, definitely respecting Liquid's ability to respond, like you say, with this SF being off the map for the past minute and a half. Not sure where Mickey is lurking.
Usually you give a support the lane mid when you do this and like farm through the jungle. But I guess because the wave is super pushed in, it means that, I mean, someone's got to take this farm coming into the tower. I hope Boxy runs there or SF goes back to mid lane. Feels bad to kind of let creeps like this fall. But I think they're looking bot for maybe some more kill threat on Crystallis, knowing the supports are playing top on Secret side.
Yeah, they've got a couple of wards down there. One in the lane, one deeper in the jungle for Liquid. They're spotting out Nisha's movement, so they know that Lena's off the map and isn't top. Crystallis alone down bottom lane, and yeah, Mickey, he comes in, clears mid wave, pops the invis, and does head southwards.
Oh, you know, actually, I like this more. They're not giving Boxy the mid lane because they don't need to. Like, he can get both farm for himself or for Xayah just by being near him. Oh god, Insania. Careful there.
Come on, dive me. Level 4 clock. Is he going to see the TP in time? He'll find Insania's Witch Doctor trapped inside the cogs. And this likely will be the tier 1 tower falling. Rezo not even opting to use the exorcism just yet.
I was about to say, if they can keep that, that would be really massive. Because then they can use it for like a mid fight, or like when you take this top tower, you have the ability to walk through their jungle, force Pudge out of it. Pudge struggles to farm Ancients, so he doesn't feel quite comfortable with this, which is why we might see Liquid move Heroes bot and try and take that tower in response. Because if you're not taking bot tower and you're losing top tower, then your mid's going to start to have the ability to get pressured as well. You don't really have very good team fight. You'll be more relying on punishing with like rebounds in and disposes, or like a hook, maybe if Matu's playing around mid. Like, your mid defense is a bit scary. It's more on just trying to push those waves out preemptively with the Mickey raises.
A nice little sidestep by Crystallis. And also the fact you can just have this Dawnbreaker sitting bottom, defending tower, shoving waves. Liquid don't want to go fight top because they know that Solar Guardian can come and bring the numbers for Secret. And they would have to have a full 5v5 to defend that tier 1 tower, so they're just going to let it die. Liquid instead, yeah, like you say, kind of focusing on cutting waves down bot. Matu, Xayah, and Boxy all down here. Well, this is where Secret have the options. Now, Liquid are kind of committed down into bottom jungle with the vision and the placement of heroes they've got. And Secret, they can farm top, they can push out waves, take over their ancient area. And Nisha's got his travels. He's been off map for a solid 3 minutes. No one's seen the Lena in a long time.
Yeah. And now we're taking 5 heroes bot. This is... If you're afraid, if you feel like they have one up on you, you need to just commit this many heroes. Like 4 to 5 heroes just to take a tower. And it's hard for a Secret to respond to that because they're not set up. They're doing the move I was hoping they would on Secret side, getting Xayah's level 6 and then looking mid for the SF kill. But Liquid are kind of already ahead of that move just by going bot instead. And I think if they TP here on Secret, they would feed. So it makes sense that Crystallis is just going to TP top as a result.
Yeah.
And now they're just or pressure this mid at least instead. Maybe Liquid can respond with like a smoke into it, or then maybe they might just have to let it go. Like I said, they need to rely on this like hook and stuff, but Matu TP top.
Super challenging to come in, collapse on Rezo. Has Yules, raindrops, level 4 Spirit Siphon, very difficult target to latch onto. And Zayat is also bodyguarding that top jungle, making sure Matumba Man doesn't have an easy access point back into his outpost area. Secret, firm grasp on his first 15 minutes. Zayat's eyeing up Matumba Man and gets the hook shot straight on top of them. Solar Guardian for good measure. Liquid, they're not going to be able to respond in time. They will jump forward with Boxy, but he's stunned mid-rebound. Now the Chain Frost goes across to Insane. He doesn't bounce any further. Zayat has the Death Ward on him, and the wall's dropped onto him and Rezo. But Secret, they got the Pudge, the Marcy, traded the Clockwork for it. They are super happy with how that went. Maybe Mickey might have surged up and runs away a bit ballsy there going forward.
Dox is a bit of a weak one. Honestly, he went for this mech build, but his spells don't really do that much damage until A, he gets more levels, and B, the enemy gets more levels, right? When you use this Wall of Replica, a lot does stand on the strength of the enemies to hurt themselves. So we saw there that wall didn't really do too much.
Yeah, Liquid looking for answers. Need a lot more time for this SF, though. He got his Dragon Lance working on BKB. But that's going to be the key timing for Liquid to actually start playing the game that they've set themselves up for with this draft.
Yeah.
And there are ways to initiate, like you've been saying, it's pretty difficult. It's rebound in or it's hook out.
Oh, that ward on mid is really nice. The Zayas just placed. They're going to see so much now. If a hero even like pokes his head on the out into the lane, they'll know where everyone's stationed and standing. And how many people are going to be behind Mickey in a move like this. Oh, what a nice ward.
Yeah, sees everything.
Yeah.
Matuma man giving that bottom lane. Try and reconnect in with him, but Liquid opting not to smoke. And Team Secret, they can spread out wide. Chrysalis has had plenty of time to farm up top, closing in on his BKB. While Resolution looks like he's... he was thinking about that greedier build we saw from him previously, the Boots of Travel, but he's opting now just to go Yule's BKB, knowing that they can hit this timing around the Lina and the Dawnbreaker. Triple BKB for Secret is going to be huge.
Yeah, Secret understand that Lina is going to be their carry this game. That's why they pick a semi-core like Chrysalis on Dawnbreaker. And he's not going for that Deso because he knows all he really needs to do is just get that ult off, get in the middle of things with that BKB and fight. And Nisha's the one that's going to deal that damage, even Rezo too on that DP. So their timings are pretty simple. Just keep farming up Nisha as much as you can. He doesn't really have to stress himself to fight and make moves. Just everyone else go make plays, let him hit creeps, Dawn connect with ult. That's sort of how they want to play. For Liquid, it's a little bit more complicated. Doxy used to have this timing with Ags where you would have... Oh god, they're going in straight up.
Yeah. A hook shot lands on the Centaur, though. And now the hook back. Ooh, scrapes behind the Dawnbreaker. If her thighs were a little thicker, maybe he catches her there. And she's away.
Yeah. Now that's some cooldowns that make Liquid have some breathing room here. At the very least.
And they want to go play back into bottom jungle. They see Rezo showing on wave. He's going to TP straight away. Pudge, hook. Oh, he lands it. Matumba man. He knew exactly where Rezo was standing. And in comes Boxy with Insania. Burst through the Death Prophet. That's the window they open up for themselves.
What the? Did he even have a ward? Or was he doing it on a wave? Sorry.
He ran back from the wave. And I'm not sure if they just saw him start to TP. But it was good from Matu, whichever way you look at it. And they're going for Zayas now as well. That cask bouncing back onto him. Frost Shield trying to give a bit of safety here as he hook shots in towards Boxy. And the Chain Frost bounces off the creep camp in towards Boxy. Back to Zayas. Insania does finish off Zayas in the end. Another couple of Liquid kills. What do they amount to? Like, Lina's still farming. Dawnbreaker's still farming. These BKBs are coming.
You're waiting for your own timings. The Matumba Man Pudge Ags. Gonna be a big one. Gonna do a lot of damage.
I just saw the replay back. It looks like he guessed it.
What a giga chat.
Yeah, the creep wave wasn't in range to see it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like... So, Doxy used to have this Ags timing, but they changed the Ags to be the normal punch now, and it's honestly not that strong, so you have to go differently. So, they're playing more for just like Pudge timings and having heals and auras and stuff instead on this Doxy. So he's more of a supporting cast. Because yeah, it used to be a lot of damage with the double Ion Shell and like how long it would last. You could push out waves really well. Now Zai's kind of resorting to just like playing these side lanes. They're hunting on Secret. Could kill Insania.
Oh, they absolutely can. It's a simple one.
They could just keep looking for pickoffs like this every time there's a hookup. That's like their main form of initiation. And even if they find these big boy cores, having the ability to have Chrysalis coming down on top with that ult, it just has that security there. Like, you have the damage, you have the control until these BKBs come out. And like, Matu's not going to have one for a long time. He's going Ags.
Yeah.
Mickey's is probably the biggest one you need to think about.
I mean, this Pudge, you've got to keep your eyes on him, though. You know, we saw ITV utilize him so very well as they scaled into super late game, right? Yeah. With the Ags, the BKB, the Refresher Orb. If he's able to actually get in on top of someone like the Lina, like the DP, you can hold him in place for a long time, but in the mid lane, the Solar Guardian coming in, the safety net given by Boxy, disposing SF away. And he will Yules up the Marcy now as Chrysalis vacuumed into the wall. Requiem comes out onto Death Prophet and Resolution. Oh, he pops his one. Spirit Siphon's up. The Rezo DP still alive, and as is Chrysalis. They do finally kill them off, though. Insania getting the final blows on them as they trade 2 cores and the big rebound. Boxy, he's straight back in on them. Zayats has the hook shot. Where's the rest of Liquid though? They're surging forward, trying to chase. Oh, the cogs trapping Zay inside, and Zayats still fine.
Oh, is that an evenness trade? They lost 2 cores, or at least 1 core on Liquid.
Felt decent for Liquid.
2 cores now. Oh, one
Zay
hit.
gets away, and Puppy the one to die. Mickey, he can't face against Nisha's Lina from range, and Zayats has gone back in with the cogs on Insania, but the right-click attacks onto Mickey, kill him! The BKB wasted. Lina with the long-range right-clicks take him down.
What a long drawn-out fight. Lots of
what a
different
wild
chasing.
fight.
Yeah. It's like explosive, and then it cools down, and then we chase into another chase, and it feels like a lot easier for Secret to go back in. I mean, this Boxy went in so far, but no one has like a blink dagger or any really good connecting spells to catch up to him. So he just got a little bit too far ahead. Like, the idea is the surge, right? But I think he was on cooldown. So they couldn't quite get there. I like how they were disengaging. That's like a pretty nice thing about Liquid's lineup is they're pretty happy if they can force the Dawnbreaker ult and then get out, or even an Exorcism or a BKB. So if they're able to kind of poke, force that, and use Surge and Vacuum, commit whatever you need to kind of get out, then they can reset and look for a fight. Or when Secret starts to turn away, then they hit them with like a hook or something. There's a lot of ways for them to sort of catch and kill. The Dispose 2 is there. Secret are much more reliant on this. We're hooking in, we're gonna burst you, kill you, and then get out. We've seen a couple times now this Crystallis ult being used and not like sticking the landing because they're able to disengage.
And it feels like, yeah, Team Secret's initiation is much more linear, much more telegraphed, and Liquid with a lot of little nuanced plays they can do to disengage. But honestly, off the back of the last couple of team fights, I think the biggest thing is how much gold Insania's got. He's now at 4,500 net worth. He's got Shard. He's well on his way to Blink Dagger. This Witch Doctor is going to start becoming a serious threat.
It's really nice, this Shard, the ability to waste so much time. Like, if Clock goes on you, he can just use the Voodoo Switcheroo and let his teammates re-engage. You know, as soon as Secret kind of pile in and jump on you, that's when the Dark Civ Blink Vacuum combo comes out.
Yeah, it's like 3 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but in real time Dota 2 teamfight terms, 3 seconds is an eternity.
That's half of a BKB at max usage.
Yeah.
We're smoking into each other. There is that Ags on Matu. The BKB's off cooldown. Ready to fight. In Secret, what do they have? They have a crit on Lina. She's starting to hit really damn hard. Rezo has that BKB coming on the courier as well. They smoke up and look for a little engagement, and because they're not giving it to them and because they're showing Rezo on bot, they're just going to swing right into the Roche pit.
Yeah, Team Secret, they've got to react quickly to this. The TPs are coming. Liquid are out of the pit now. Yeah, Team Secret saw it with the rocket flare. They do get across the map very speedily. Crystallis does have that Solar Guardian to join, so he's realized that, hey, I can go farm bottom jungle pretty freely. Dude,
it's so low. Like, taking it to half like that makes Roche so much... Like, the tension rises so much. It's no longer a full HP Roche that we're going to fight about. Like, if you think you have the damage to kind of quickly kill that, you know, what's to stop Secret from running in with BKBs and just trying to kill it as quickly as you can? Because the Darkseer is not going to do that much to it. I guess you got to be careful because there's hooks. Like, if you're holding a high ground ward on Liquid, you're just basically waiting for anyone on Secret to show themselves. If you can get that hook displacement, and that would be so rough for Secret. They have the Dawn ult and hook as ways to sort of catch up with them at least.
Yeah, and Zai's counter initiation, it's good with his Blink and Force Staff, but against the BKBs, which are all up for Team Secret, it feels like Liquid have to drag these fights out a little bit longer, kite and bait the BKBs for as long as they can. Now, it looks like Liquid just going to give up on controlling Roshan right now. They're back into farming mode. Guard Matu as he shoves out mid-wave. And this is where Team Secret, they can actually move into that top jungle, find a bit of space for themselves. Zayat's always leading the charge, but they are under dire vision. Very sneaky ward from Insania. It spotted them coming all the way across.
What will the boiling point be? Because
oh, Crystallis.
apparently this.
Oh, he's very afraid. Boxy gonna unleash. Just try and get that dispel. Move yourself away.
But now Secret have control of top side. So they have to smoke on Liquid right now to re-control top.
And Secret in the Roche pit. Two heroes vacuumed into the wall. Chain Frost gonna bounce off the shard, kill off Boxy. Is he gonna have to buy back because Rezo's in the pit with Exo going? I mean, who's this? Matu is miles away. The Pudge is nowhere near. And Zayat, he's zoning them away with Hookshot and Cogs. Secret, they've got this. Aegis for them. Nisha now holding it. And if Lina wasn't a beast already, she's now got 2 lives.
That's really hard. I think the biggest thing that Liquid seem to be struggling with is follow-up initiation. They need a blink on Pudge. And he needs his BKB first, of course, just so he can stand a fight. It feels like there's a lot of things that Matthew needs. He needs to buy armor so that he can scale into this Lina. He needs to buy a blink so he can get on the Lina. I think I really loved... It was Otake, right? The Refresher Pudge?
Yeah.
I want to say, yeah, that was
Requiem,
sick.
Mickey, Zai, they're on to Chrysalis. He's got 6-1 charges, and Resolution's coming here to help him out. Mickey does have that Shadow Blade to skip away, and the surge from Zai, creating a bit of a gap here for Liquid. They don't get the kill, and Secret very quick to respond. It really is so tense.
It's
Slight
so scary.
2k lead for Secret, or as Puppy. He sees the Shadow Fiend, Solar Guardian in with a hook shot there. They grab the Lich off to the right, but Mickey, the one being focused down, dodges Light Strike with his BKB. The dust comes, and they see him running. Pops as one. They need a bit more damage from this Lina. Oh, not enough. Nisha doesn't have the range to keep going. Rezo also BKB to try skip out of the range of Matu.
Top tower is under attack.
It was a close call for Liquid.
It was honestly like a split second from Mickey dying. The Lina stun was not... It was literally like 1 or 2 frames off from getting him, but he got his BKB off just in time. They had a lot of chain stun. I think it was just mostly Crystalis's position when he landed from the Solar Guardian didn't allow him to get like an easy Starbreaker off. You know, that's just, you know, how it be. But yeah, it didn't... Had to rely on that cog pushback instead, not quite able to cinch it. It is a lot of spells though that you have to use just to chain stun him for long enough to kill him before his BKB gets off. I think if Lina...
And now, Rezo, 4 staff fuels. Zaya's trying to get him out of danger, but they've got Dismember from this BKB Pudge. Rezo dodges the hook, but the Voodoo Switcheroo, the Death Ward, are going to kill him off. Chain Frost over to the other side as Boxy rebounds away. Not going to allow for any more bounces. And another swift move in, going to get a 1-for-1 trade, but it's DP for Witch Doctor. So Liquid, they move in, they move out. 1 strike, and they're gone back to farming.
Nice pickoff, but they're still on Aegis. I think Secret's still very confident.
Yeah, and honestly, I say it's a DP for a Witch Doctor. Usually I think, hey, it's favored killing off that DP, but Matu now falling in the mid lane. Caught out by Chrysalis and Nisha. No saving him as Zaying tried to come in, but Mech on cooldown. And no counterplay for Liquid. That's a big victory now for Secret. And yeah, Witch Doctor had a kill streak. So that's quite a bit of money going into them as well.
Was it actually? How much did he give? 450?
Yeah,
That's
decent
not bad.
amount.
So this is their first tier 2. They'll take the outpost now as a result. They don't have to play topside just because Roche is not going to respawn for at least 5 minutes. So I think they have the option to sweep back into their jungle and try and look for kills there, or if anywhere that someone is showing, I think they can just kind of run at them. Liquid are gonna have to be looking to just burst Lina every fight, most likely. She's the one doing the most amounts of damage. She's a massive issue, honestly. Like I said, so many items needed to deal with her, right? Like Pudge alone struggles to stick on people in fights because he doesn't have armor. He needs that BKB, the Dismember on Lina. If she went for a Lincoln's later, that would make a lot of sense for me.
And then they can start thinking about waiting and holding Hookshot to stop Dismember. Like if Pudge does walk in with his BKB, like Zayas just hold it, wait for that cancel.
Yeah, you want Mickey's the one that's doing a lot of this right-click damage, but you need to give him the control to do it. It feels like Secret have done a really nice job so far of just planting heroes in front of Nisha and making it so that no one can really get to him. So yeah, they're going to be relying on maybe this hook or a rebound dispose into hook or a vacuum.
a vacuum rebound, maledict. I was thinking along these same lines. Like, what's the combo with the Darkseer here, right?
Yeah.
And it's vacuum, rebound, cask, maledict, requiem, with rot slowing them all down. If they can get that, yes, it's huge, but it's pretty freaking difficult to land this symphony of skills that it feels like they need to defeat Secret in a straight team fight here. And Nisha, still with Aegis for 20 seconds, comes in round the back. Liquid able to disengage. Pudge, even BKB to run back to his tier 2 bottom.
Is under attack.
And the two remaining members, yeah, TPing out of that bottom right-hand corner.
You raise a great point, though. He's not itemized for this at all, so it's not something I think we'll see this game. But if Mickey had gone that Arcane Blink, and they were able to combo a big vacuum into that ult, that could have been so huge. It's kind of hard, though, because you're relying a lot on your magic damage then, and you do need this mix of physical in there that Mickey is providing instead.
Yeah, then you have these windows of opportunity when like a BKB completely ruins your combo and you've all-in'd on it.
Yeah. So I understand why he hasn't gone for it, but God, that would have been cool as hell, bro. That would have been sick.
It would have been. Liquid now very afraid, though. Looks like they want to move out of their base and smoke from a safer position, maybe expecting base wards or high ground vision here from Secret. At the very least, regaining control of their ancients.
Yeah. You're not fussed for this top side of the map yet. It's something you're thinking about, how you want to tackle it, but there's no Roche to fight for. You're okay giving it to Secret for now. And also, Liquid's wards, they're all bottom. So the quicker that they can sort of reclaim the ancients and get back to that space is better for them. I think there's definitely Secret are getting much more out of the map right now. The network distribution is not the worst, though, I'd say. I think Lina obviously is really racing ahead. She's like, Nisha's like definitely the biggest issue right now. But everyone's sort of keeping up with each other. Liquid are not that far behind by any means. And you see now Matu going for that armor, going for that Shiva's Guard.
Money to burn.
Maybe Darkseer could look for a halberd as well. Anything that stops Nisha hitting.
Yeah.
If they can get it off before his BKB.
They'll jump in. They find Puppy. A couple of hits in from Mickey, but he didn't get his BKB off. Wasn't expecting the immediate jump from Zayat. Insania casking back, but he's going to get chased down to the ends of the earth here. Voodoo switcheroo buys the 3 seconds of time, but the Starbreaker perfectly placed as they buy back on Witch Doctor SF. Matu's in with his BKB dismember. The wall is dropped, but Secret, they just stand their ground and continue fighting. Nisha gets the crits he needs. A double kill for Lina, and they're chasing for Darkseer. Yule's up from Rezo, ghosts are flying, backpack won't work. Secret tracking back to find that Darkseer kill, and now the buybacks from Liquid. What do? You're thinking about this Requiem, Mickey fake pumping it, but doesn't want to commit.
Souls. It's not even that impactful if he lands it. I mean, at that point, you're playing more for the fear on it, just into a hook or something, rather than the actual damage. It's not a buyback that feels good on Mickey. Did not save his comrades' lives, did not get that kills that would have been good. Only getting Zayat, I mean, that's gonna feel bad. And now you're playing under this threat of a dieback at all times in Secret. Looking at this next Roche, gonna want to be playing in that top side of the map. We're gonna see the classic one team takes high ground versus high ground maneuver any moment now. I mean, maybe Liquid will even see that. I mean, they have to fight for this Aegis. It's so important for them, but it's so risky with Mickey being so, I mean, how many 4-stars do you have? You have 2?
Lich and Clock. Yeah. It's a golden Roshan as well. He spawned 10 seconds. That's all it took. He's back in action. Just need someone to poke their heads in the pit. Get a rocket flare over there. But Matu, he makes the move first. Is he going to try and hook someone? He's not alone. Has people behind him. But the hook shot to safety comes from the clockwork. Going back to the creep wave. Liquid, they brought all 5 up here, so plenty of room for Crystallis to shove out that bottom wave. And look at how quickly they're going. Liquid know they need something off the back of this. And they brought back this SF. He needs momentum. And
they're just going to walk it into the pit. They TP'd bot. They shoved bot. This is a great time for them.
Another Aegis. Even a shard there. And who do we give the shard to? Like, Lich already has
DP
one.
probably?
DP. Dawnbreakers is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I prefer DPs. I really love the fear. on the Siphon, especially because it feels like it's easy for Rezo to kind of walk in. Like Mickey feels so pressured. He's the one that's doing a lot of the right click damage that's meant to kind of kill the Death Prophet. But she already has a halberd, he has a plate mail, he really doesn't care. So his ability to stick in these fights and just use the Siphon and get that fear is going to be massive for him.
Yeah, a lot of problems for Liquid. Like, Nisha so far has had a perfect game. Closing it on 400 CS, 35 minutes in. 8-0-4 for Yelena. And always positioned perfectly. Like, she's got so many frontliners that can just go and face tank these fights for her. So she's actually just able to sit there and launch damage in. While Zai has to blink away, knowing the Lina was on her way to this Ancients area.
You talk about a perfect game. Now they have to perfectly siege high ground. So you have a lot of fear. If you're grouping up to push a high ground, that's when Darkseer could get his vacuum. You know, like we talked about, they have quite a fair few spells that could combo into a hook from Pudge. You know, any hook that lands and gets you under the tier 4s even, or just fully out of position is going to be super rough. I think DP doesn't have a blink or anything yet, so she's not going to be able to kind of jump in with you. She'd have to run in with a BKB. I think if you can...
Oh, the catch.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God. Get the force dash back. Nice play to get Matuma Man out of there. A Secret, they popped the Exo, and they did spend the hook shot. So there's a good 35 more seconds now where Liquid don't have to be so afraid. The hook, though, catching Boxy. They wanted to drag Nisha back in. A little bit of misplay there as the tier 3 is down and the racks opened up on by Nisha, holding that line. But there's the back. The Requiem, no, it coming a little late. The BKBs are already out from Secret. They lose their Boxy Marcy. And this Death Ward, yeah, it'll zone them away, but Liquid didn't get the perfect initiation they needed. My game froze for a couple of seconds, and I think Liquid's hearts froze as well.
Yeah, they had like 2 to 3 different ways to try and defend the high ground. The first was that rebound into the hook, which unfortunately was a little missed. And then there was that vacuum, which again didn't have the impact they hoped it would. And these BKB reactions, it's a move that kind of, you can see it. It just kind of comes and you see it coming. Because SF can't just stand there channeling, you see him. You know? So you're aware of like how they want Zai to jump in and vacuum. And if he does vacuum, the Requiem takes too long to go off for them not to get their BKBs on.
It's like channeling, then travel time. There's
yeah,
so
it's
much,
very difficult.
So much wiggle room for Secret there. As they still have Aegis on Lina. Pushing out that top wave. Melee racks at 500 HP. Something they can go in and finish off. Liquid not going to give it up for free, though. They will continue fighting for every inch of space on this map.
It is pretty simple for Secret with this Aegis to just walk up and hit. They know the cooldowns are there, so they can just do this without fear. The only thing they have to be aware of is this hook, which he's standing in creeps, positioning really well on Nisha. Not going to give him it.
Yeah, just like that. Walks through the creep wave. No hook landing. We do, and the rebound in from Boxy. Counteracted by the Solar Guardian. Crystallis rejoins his squad, and another missed hook from Matu. Mickey trying to fear them back, but Lina not afraid of anything. In comes Matu with a blink BKB, trying to aim it onto this Nisha Lina, and they get the Requiem off from Mickey this time around. Taking the Aegis inside the wall. Lina is still standing there, and a great hook from Matu. Times it perfectly. They've got the Lina kill they needed. Taking her down is huge for Liquid as they'll find Rezo as their secondary kill as well. They hold their high ground, but the rest of Secret, they're bailing.
They went for that chase. A little funny moment there as Matu walks into the cogs and walks back into the cogs and gets force-stuffed into the cogs and just keeps getting punched out. Not able to connect up that hook, getting Zayas to safety. But yeah, that's pretty much the ideal situation for Liquid going into these high ground sieges, defenses. Any moment where you can get that hook under the tier 4, if you can get that kill and set up the Aegis into a pullback, and that's all you really need. But this is a situation that is given to you specifically by Secret pushing high ground. Now you're back out on the map again. You have to look for other ways to kind of punish these moves. Is it, you're gonna try and hold a space, get that hook, start that initiation. You know, are we looking for a new item by Mickey? He's going for a Satanic, but it feels like he needs a Satanic and, you know, a Daedalus to be able to output the same amount of right-click damage that Lina is.
Yeah, I'm
Martin's
gonna start
going for that refresher. That's hype as well.
Yeah, having that double BKB, double dismember. That's definitely a way to lock down onto that Lina. And they've got to start thinking about next Roshan as well. And take control of this jungle, get your vision down. And this vision does give them a glimpse of Puppey, but in comes Zayas and Crystallis, chaining their stuns, but Liquid have the BKBs. Bit of an answer here to Secret's move into top jungle. While over on the right side, Requiem comes, but Rezo has his magic immunity out already. Nisha trying to open up on them, and Boxy chased back into the top left corner of the fight. That's a good start by Liquid, holding a high ground, getting a bit of info from the vision they already had placed. But Secret are just so quick to respond.
Liquid wanted so much more. Mickey had a DD. That could have been everything for them. They just don't quite have that lockdown to do it. Rezo very tanky with the items he has, able to just kind of walk it off. And as Mickey, you don't want to overcommit. You know, you don't have that Hurricane Pike, the ways to force yourself to safety. He's not even going for the Satanic anymore. He's now going for this Butterfly. He is going for damage. He really wants to be the one that is killing heroes for his team. And that just means, yeah, they need to focus on taking a fight outside the base where they can start with Matu's Blink in Dismember, followed up by Mickey just bursting them down with that right click.
What they do need now, though, against this Lincolns of Nisha is a way to pop it so they get that Dismember in on her. Yeah. Such a good toolkit for the Nisha's Lina. Even queuing up the MKB, kind of feeling it. I mean, SF has shown a component, right? They'll know he's got... Yeah, they've got vision on him. They know he's got Butterfly already.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, Pudge does not naturally buy Lincoln's breaking items. He's very much a fan of these just big... get in your face items, and God, Nisha's very deep right now.
All the 2 hits. Finds the kill on Puppey, but Zai being focused down, gets off his Greaves, buys a bit of time, but the crits land. 500 apiece from the Lina and opening up onto Matu. Dismembering and healing off a Crystallis, but he's stuck there. Liquid now down 2 cores, and Dogs here with no buyback. This could lead to another lane of barracks. Top lane's pushing in, Secret clearing wave mid.
That was ward based. The Secret are moving up, putting a ward on that high ground cliff and playing around it. Liquid don't have their own vision.
Look how much damage Lina did, like 6,000, just right clicks. Like, who cares spells?
So much, yeah. And it's hard because the way that fight played out, like Pudge hooked her away from the Darkseid to try and save his life, but he realizes she has a Lincoln's. I can't dismember this, so he is literally just stuck there, having to try and walk away from Nisha, who's doing so much damage. He doesn't even have a Skadi. He's literally just using this range from the Dragonlance and Grove Bow to walk people down and just chase them, knowing that they can't touch him. There's not enough ways to control her on the side of Liquid without people putting themselves really out of, you know, in harm's way. Like Witch Doctor, it's so hard for him to just walk up and cast, right? Especially when Nisha has a BKB, can just react to that projectile. I think right now it's just, yeah, Liquid struggling so much, and this Lincoln's, like you said, posing so much of a problem because they can't just rely on seeing her and going with this Pudge hook, especially with a clock hook covering her.
Yeah. Yeah, now Mickey, bought his Butterfly a minute and a half ago? MKB's done on Lina. She's got the counter to it. It's still so interesting to me how far we've come on this Lina. Like, you think back 3 years ago or so, and it's Yules, Ether Lens, Magic Spellcaster, that's it. And you got players, you know, like Chris Luck, who go for that Boots of Travel, Dragonlance, Shiver's Guard. Then people start, you know, copying that, going into the physical damage build. Now you've got the option, you know, go back for the Ags and the Shard, but it's still just this artillery cannon of right-click prowess coming out of Lina's nowadays, allowing her to, you know, traverse across the map with bots, get a lot of quick farm, and then launch out this what's her range, like 770 with Grove Bow, a bit more with Dragonlance.
Yeah.
She's a sniper.
Well, can Liquid burst Lina at the start of a fight? That would be absolutely massive for them. Let break smoke.
They need to catch a glimpse of them.
Boxy has Basher.
Oh, yeah, BKB Basher, but smoke breaks on Rezo's invis.
Twice.
They've got no vision. And this is going to give Secret the chance to smoke back. Do they go in the pit or do they go for the fight? They're going to hold the high ground. They've got this Radiant Observer Ward up there, and they'll see people coming. Liquid know how important this moment is here in game one, but Matu, where did he go? Just disappears. The back wall's dropped, but Boxy shredded by Lina. Standing at ground, oh, Boxy fighting back a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be enough with the Requiem Fear pushing Nisha away. The Force Staff and Glimmer gives a bit of safety, but they get the kill. Lina's down. Chrysalis going about to follow as Shadow Fiend. This Mickey, big boy, slapping into Team Secret. The wall is still there and causing issues for them. 3 down, Roshan open, and all Liquid lose, really. Here's that Pudge and Marcy, and Matu buys back to come into the pit.
And no buyback on Lina means they cannot contest this on Secret. They have the hook, so maybe Zayas goes for a Hail Mary, rush in there, but that's all they really have here. No BKB on Resolution, cannot get involved, and Liquid is just going to try and block this hook angle.
Zayas is still in, though, vacuumed away, snatch on the Aegis, Radiant got the kill, and Zayas will die for his insolence. How dare you?
How dare you? And he did get the last hit though, so you know, mad props, good timing. He did find that angle using his shard, but yeah, God, that fight for Liquid, obviously it really sucks when Matu dies instantly, right? But it revealed where Lina was, and it kind of forced them into a bad fight for them. They are in this choke point on the stairs, right? This big long wall of Zais, you know, catches everyone that's trying to fight in that area, and they can't really move.
And they've got a catch on Rezo here.
Now.
Yeah, they're trying to bring him down. Is he maledicted? He is. So the Rot going to chase down the DP. The Force Staff back up, gets Rezo a bit of distance. And Frost Shield protecting. Rezo will live and gets back to Fountain. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the fact that Boxy was able to stand and fight with Sidekick, I did not expect that amount of lifesteal. But hell, with BKB Basher, this Marcy really packs a punch.
That's what I was gonna say. Is the biggest point of that fight for me was the basher on Boxy. Like as soon as Boxy jumped in there, he got pretty bursted down. I thought that was gonna be the end of his life, but he got the bash off, and the BKB ran out on Nisha. Suddenly he's standing in a wall, you know, under these illusions, taking damage. Mickey hitting from the low ground, obviously not ideal for him, but between the bashes from Boxy and Mickey being able to move onto that high ground, he also timed his Requiem with the end of the BKB on Nisha. So like all these things together, they were able to finally control him. Matu obviously just being the one that gives his life for it. So they don't have that in the future, right? The Aegis was given to Mickey knowing he's the DPS, but it does mean that if Matu dies, he is now dead. And that could be a big point for Secret in their next fight. Yeah,
and if they get a wall illusion of this AC of the Dawnbreaker, getting an illusion of the Lina, you know, you're doing 120% damage from these illusions. Lina and Dawnbreaker, they're slapping their own heroes.
Gonna be very particular fights. There's no real, you can't just easily run in there and brawl. It's very easy for Nisha to just blow up and kill you, but it's also at the same time easy for Liquid to, well, not easy, but you know, it's there's a lot of counter play at this point now that this bash is in play, now that there are ways to control you through your Linkens and BKB. You know, there are threats. The more items we get, the more threats come out, and you can't just play as brazenly as you were 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, then you have to start reconsidering buyback status, boosted travel potential. And right now, we've got SF, Dawnbreaker, DP, and basically all of the Dire team have buybacks outside of the Pudge, of course, who just used his in that previous fight. So we won't have the same opportunity for Matu to you know, blink in, die, and buyback to come in.
That was big for him, that fight. So if they can... Obviously, they want to get something from this Aegis, and I think it's just going to be looking for kills. They want to kind of claw their way back, bring this net worth back. And Secret looking for an opportunity here, too.
Hookshotting in onto SF. That's a key target, and dies quickly. First life gone. Liquid trying to respond. Matu's still very distant, so it's down to Zaya to get this vacuum wall in, but Boxy can't stand his ground this time. Has to run away, and Mickey with the BKB Silver Edge. Disengaging while Matu jumps in. He wants to be aggressive, misses the hook on Rezo. Dancing away back to safety as both teams, they chuck the kitchen sink at each other, then just walk it off.
And then losing that Aegis, not ideal, but at least you didn't lose heroes, didn't have to expend buybacks, and worst case, you know, lose Matu. I think he was bold blinking in there knowing he had a double BKB if he needed from that refresher, but something that I'm noting is very important. Looking at the difference between that fight and the previous one is that Boxy cannot really afford to jump in on anyone that's not Nisha. That fight, he BKB'd up and went to try and kill Chrysalis, but Nisha having that backwards position, you know, not under threat, is able to just click him and nearly kill him pretty instantly. You're still a support, right? You don't have armor items. You're not 5-6 slide. You need a little bit more time to get to that point. So yeah, Nisha is such a big issue. Maybe Boxy can even look to get a blink or something like that, just so he can wait and see Nisha revealing his position and then get on him. Like, Nisha's even itemizing sort of to deal with that in advance. He's going for this Hurricane Pike. Or at least he's got it queued up and thinking about it, so that if he is in a position like that fight on the dire jungle high ground, again, he's able to reposition himself and not have to rely on a clock hook or something to save his life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nisha just sold his boots of travel to get a bit more money to maybe try and afford this pike plus buyback. He doesn't have travels on him, and his courier doesn't have it either.
Oh yeah.
Travel sold. Maybe an indication here that Secret just want to play this 5-man group up. No longer split pushing. With the Lina, they'll have the potential for Dawnbreaker to shove out a wave and then Solar Guardian back in if need be. But now, right now, they are a very tight-knit group all together down in that bottom lane. Liquid.
I've got Satanic.
Liquid just executing these fights to perfection, though, right? You talked about how it's not easy. You know, Secret have quite a linear way in, straightforward, telegraphed, but Liquid have answers. They've got ways with this vacuum play around the other heroes they have.
Yeah.
It just takes so much brain power to read the team fights. Yeah, execute, see the targets you want to be going on. Team comms have got to be clear. And we'll just wait for next Roshan, it looks like. Neither team wanting to commit too heavily to anything just yet.
Yeah, I do like the Satanic pickup on Mickey. It makes him a little bit tankier. Obviously, dying with that Aegis there, the biggest thing was that he was very squishy. He is lacking pretty severely on armor. It feels like none of his items are really helping in that way. He wanted survivability in the Butterfly, but with the Lina's speed to pick up that MKB, yeah, he just pretty much melted. I don't think he's the one that wants to be having an AC. It'd be nice if someone could have it.
Yeah, maybe Marcy's job by an AC. Go on, Boxy, get an AC, please. I beg. We've got huge items here. Scythe of Ice on Dogs here, as well as the Death Prophet. So these instant forms of initiation from both teams available to them.
Yeah, going into this fight, 4 heroes on Secret, bar Rezo, have buyback, and only Marcy has buyback on Liquid. So you can't even take a fight, say, around this outpost and just rely on buying back and TPing into it and overwhelming Secret with numbers. If Secret get a fight here, I mean, it could just be massively devastating.
And they are smoking, looking for it. Zayat's holding onto his rocket. Doesn't want to give his position away from this mid lane. Liquid charging down from their top jungle in towards mid. They both pass each other. Where's Liquid going to go, though? They're wrapping around down bottom jungle. Insania might be the one to give away the game. No, he goes up the staircase, rejoins his squad.
Rezo has a Hex too.
Yeah, both sides have got hexes.
Hex could decide everything.
We've got the weird standoff across the river again. Secret Radiant team playing dire side, now cutting waves. Liquid still in that mid lane, even looking for the tier 2 tower here that they can take. Maybe even regain control of that bottom outpost. But overall, Radiant team taking top outpost with Roshan potentially 10 seconds away. That's huge for Secret. It feels like they have
massive, yeah,
the more important positioning.
And look at the creep wave pushing in top. This is something that Liquid have to deal with. They can cut the bot wave, but those 2 massive waves of mega creeps are going to be pushing in their base. This is not something that can be ignored. They cannot just sit here forever and hope. They have to either move now and make a play, or they have to return to their base and look for a new angle to approach Secret. Secret definitely in that power play right now.
We know, of course, 2 minutes until Roshan, but the teams, they're thinking could be now. Every second for the next 3 minutes. It's like, oh god, Roshan, he's alive. When's our time? And yeah, they will start filtering back, TPing home, defend against the horde of creeps that's aggressively moving onto your tier 4s.
Oh, Zayat's nearly even finds the hook there on Marcy TPing out. And yeah, what are you thinking now? You're going to push out these waves, but you don't want to go too far. I mean, where's your vision? You have one on that cliff on the triangles. You see Zayat's and Nisha move back through there. And you have one on the bottom cliff as well. So it's very deep wards, but not ones that cover your jungle. They're going to smoke in because they saw Lina on their vision. And Puppy. They see a lot right now.
Do they know Rezo's in the pit, though? The scythe from Zai starting on Puppy's Lich. 2 hits, all it takes. Dismember on Rezo as well. Liquid start this fight well, but the Abyssal Blade, the pushback, all the disarm on the SF can't turn to fight. Matu still in the pit, hooking back Rezo as this wall, it has blocked the rest of Secret from arriving. Moxie rebounds over the top, and Matu's still stuck inside. Rezo gets through, but dies. The big crit lands. Mickey turning to fight Zayats and Crystallis, but they've got their BKBs up still. Doesn't matter though. Liquid have battered them into the ground. Lina now, feared up. Nisha tries to Hurricane Pike away, but it's nowhere near enough. Mickey with a monster kill streak. Oh boy, Liquid.
Everything went so well for them. There was that potential for the turnaround when Rezo showed himself in the pit with that Hex, getting it onto Mickey, but force staff, Gary!
Yes, 4 staffs!
Friggin' staff!
Hurricane Pike, 4 staff, everything under the sun to save that SF.
It is the best item in the goddamn game and gets Mickey just out of there in time. An amazing halberd from Rezo nearly helps there though, because Mickey wasn't able to use the Satanic, but that's when Matu comes in with the refresher off. With the refresher shot, he has 3 sets of dismembers and BKBs coming out in this whole fight.
It looks like Mickey's dead to rights, but yeah, bang there with a 4 staff, run it back with a BKB. Crystallis, Solar Guardian's off to the left, but Matu, he's just in that pit. And Boxy able to disengage from the Guardian means Liquid have this surround on them. They've got this nice concave all around the pit, while Secret, they're stuck in here, trapped by the wall, trapped by their own cogs.
I mean, how good was it for them having that wall? Like, this whole smoke move around play that they made paid off so heavily for them with that wall on that cliff that let them see Lich, let them start the fight the way they wanted to start it.
Oh, Zayats. Oh, Zayats. Are you going to try it? No, he's hexed up. Solar Guardian and a buyback from Lina. Roshan, what is he? 2,000 HP away from death. And Secret with a chance here to come and snipe it. Another wall, Zai drops it. BKB up from Crystallis as they hookshot onto the Shadow Fiend now. Hexed and disarmed, sent back as they do jump in with Boxy, but Aegis in the hands of Crystallis. Shadow Fiend Yules now kept out of the fight for a few seconds longer. Rezo and Mickey both BKBing up while Nisha 4 staffs forward. They've got a Ghost Scepter on Insania. He does have a Blink Dagger, gets the distance. Liquid, they lose their Marcy, and it's Secret to get the Aegis in the end.
It is, but at least it's not Nisha, because the most important thing here is that Nisha used his buyback and he does not have an Aegis. And he is the one doing your damage. Crystallis, he has his own damage in his own right, but it is not the same as Nisha. You kill Nisha, you can win the game off of that right now for Liquid. And they have buybacks. SF has his, Pudge has his. They are definitely in a really good position right now. Even though there's an Aegis, I think there's no illusion that they know that they can take a really game-winning fight now. And we might see a smoke come out from them as a result.
A smoke to smite them.
A smoke to smite them. Thanks. So, yep, rescue that one. Easy clap, easy clap. They don't have vision is the only problem, I think, from Liquid's side. They don't see anything. They don't know where Secret is. I think smoking into them becomes a little bit hard in that respect. But the best thing you can do to kind of help widen that knowledge is push out the waves. You see them being really careful with how they push out top because they don't know if Secret is sitting in their jungle. So, but if you get that wave out and no one's cutting it and no one's coming to push it out, you know that they're not there anymore, and maybe you can go take that area, deward it.
It feels like every one of these team fights needs the WoW Dota music sound backing to them because it's just ridiculous how well both teams are doing this back and forth, utilizing every skill and item. You know, these 4 staffs, the sides of ice. It is perfection. And a dead even game in terms of net worth and kills. 57 minutes in. We're reaching the
Teams
hour
hate
mark.
us today, man. Teams hate us, bro.
Tier 5 items coming soon.
Honestly, looking into the future a little bit, this must be really devastating for Secret. Playing 2 hour-long games back-to-back, and this is still a best of 3. It might go to 3 games, and then if you win this, you have to play a best of 5 as well. It's like an excruciatingly long marathon that you're running right now.
It's potentially like 9 hours plus, right? If you add in breaks, you're looking at like 10 and a half hours of Dota 2.
This is the biggest test of Secret's life to get to TI, seriously.
Capitan Popan being tested at every step. Zayats. Jetpack in. Who's he going to see? Zai vacuums too. Gets his BKB out early and did drop the wall, but Chrysalis is there with his Abyssal Blade and the hook shot. They've locked in Zai. Dead, but with buyback, as SF gonna get 4 staff, double time, back towards his base. Has a BKB and a Requiem up as Matsu charges straight onto Chrysalis. They found the Dawnbreaker, but she's got the ability to counteract with the Starbreaker. Still has BKB and Aegis as well, so when she respawns, they've got tools here. Nisha dragged back in, but Laguna Blaze down onto the Pudge. Vacuum in. Zai has no wall now, though, as the Death Ward is pretty big for Insani with the Aghanim Scepter, doing serious damage to Secret. And Mickey with the Requiem, aiming for Chrysalis. He eats up the cheese, and he's going to Solar Guardian away. Matu couldn't quite grab him. Secret somehow not losing anyone, and Liquid forced a triple buyback. Maybe now they'll get the jetpack in Clockwork, but
The
no!
ancient... Oh!
The throne? Oh my god, the throne is dying! Oh, Chrysalis though, dragged back on the dispose. Matumba Man, the wall now dropped on him. The turnaround Starbreaker again, buying more time for the DP to arrive. But Liquid have Rezo surrounded. They've got Dismember here, catch out the Death Prophet. And Dawnbreaker dead for 2 minutes. They've got buyback on DP. But the fear of your throne falling there required the TPs back.
That was so scary. I was just like looking at the creeps in the base. Oh no, there's no tier 4s. Oh, this fight started really nicely for Secret though. Just on Liquid, they wanted to, like, Chrysalis got right up there in the front. I think that was the biggest point of why Secret's fight went so well. He's playing with that Aegis, and he's the one tanking so many like dismembers and aggression from Team Liquid.
Sorry, 12,000 damage from Aghanim's Death Ward. Insania, what a beast!
That's crazy. He's got that Ags. He's got a blink as well. Always getting in position for it.
Holy shit.
Now, Lina has to be super careful here. If they manage to find her, then it is probably just the game end with this death timer on Dawnbreaker 2. Is he going for a rapier? Why is he sitting in the secret shop? He is. He's trying to buy it on Nisha. So scary, so scary.
Oh, he's farming up in enemy ancients, but now Secret the ones losing their buildings. Mickey, he's taking down mid, he's taking down bot, and Secret still with no Dawnbreaker for 40 seconds. They know the Nisha was down bottom. They saw him on his way through. It looks like they'll come back, grab the outpost, and just calm down for a sec.
It's stood the test of time. It's nearly full health.
60 minutes in, there's still a tier 1.
That is honestly a reflection of the game, though, right? The fact that Secret have been in control for so long that they haven't even been able to take that top 1 tower on Liquid just goes to show like how rough it has been and how big this comeback is. They've definitely looked to be in a position of power for quite some time, but that last fight, I mean, it was really scary, right? I think one of the biggest things to note was Boxy, every fight, he went for this Blink Dagger. He's been trying to stick it on Nisha, but now Nisha has this Hurricane Pike. The last fight especially, he was able to just push Boxy away, and then he died to just the overwhelming right-click damage plus Rezo's Exorcism, because he kind of stuck with Nisha to make sure he didn't die. So this like buddy POW system and Liquid not quite being able to get in together just made that fight really hard for them and required those buybacks to come back. And you don't have those now. Going into the next fight, what is... Lina has a minute and a half left until her. So while they smoked up, I think it would definitely benefit them here now to just not force anything. Just chill a little bit. You're even on racks taken. Let's just get that buyback back, and then we can go fight, because they won't have theirs on Liquid for another 3+ minutes when yours is up.
Man, Ex-Machina Pudge.
Yeah, what did they get?
A lot of stuff. Giant's Ring, Mirror Shield over on Secret, Stygian Desolator for the Shadow Fiend, Apex for Marcy apparently, and Book of the Dead for the Darkseer. Mirror Shield for the DP.
Who has a Giant's Ring? Oh, Chrysalis. Oh my god, he's huge. Oh.
I mean, the ability to like go over terrain, it can't be understated how important that can be to disengage, re-engage, poke your head into a team fight and then run away.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. BKB on Insania's Witch Doctor now as well, so we're going to have even more freedom to get these Death Wards down.
I wonder if Zayats has got... He's getting a little bit of gold going. He's got 3.4k in the bank right now. Obviously going to be trying to save for that buyback. But if he was able to get a refresher, I think that would help a lot with Secret. Because the biggest thing that seems to be having an impact right now is when Matu gets in there, the ability to just cancel his dismember is pretty huge, because he's gone for this refresher. You know, he's trying to pull this play where he can just lock a hero down for such a long amount of time, and Clock can easily disrupt that. Even if he wants to get a BKB, just so he's able to get in that fight and try and disrupt with the spells and not get kind of pushed out by anything. I mean, there's a lot to go. There's a lot of things to consider. We're in late game Dota, you know? There is that Witch Doctor, like you pointed out, doing 11k damage. You know, you gotta kill him at some point as well. This is
it's difficult.
yeah, maybe that's Xayah's job.
Yeah, cancel Dismember, cancel Death Ward. So much on his plate.
Alright.
And I've got Abyssal Blade on Chrysalis as well, so multiple tools to be able to do that. But another 2 minutes for Roshan to spawn. And both teams, you know, continually contending with these lanes pushing in. Liquid always have to prune away at the top wave. It's kind of nice, you know, dealing with mid. Both are kind of evenly matched. Keep that wave across the river and aim towards Roche, where there's a casual Soul Ring just chilling in the pit. I wonder who that belonged to. Marcy gets off her BKB, has the Giant's Ring as well. Away from the Exo and the hook shot, which were expended there by Secret. So now another waiting period here for Exorcism to come back up. And maybe an opportunity for Team Liquid to make a play. And they're smoking.
DP could buy a refresher. Yeah, he's bought his refresher. I think he sold something to keep buyback, but yeah, now he'll have that second Exorcism in case Liquid force the issue, which they seem to be trying to do.
Yeah, no more Yules. And 2 lanes pushing into Radiant base means this Liquid smoke puts them in a really nice space to get a catch on someone. Looks like Chrysalis knows what's up, though. He's deep behind tier 4s, feeling that something's not quite right on the map and in this world right now. And Boxy gets the D ward inside Secret's base, jumping away. Xayah's trying to scout him out with flares and jetpacks. Roshan now, but 15 seconds away. So both squads going to vie for control around the pit. Vision is up for Secret here in a decent spot to fight around it. But Boxy already knew that was there, and he's likely just going to come across and de-ward that quickly.
Dude, taking a fight there on Secret could have been so big. I know it's like a whole what if and stuff, but if they'd known they were there, running into them is not exactly the worst decision. They only have 1 buyback on SF, whilst Secret have 5, and the wave was pushing in top, so every moment that they're like preoccupied fighting outside your base is a moment that the creeps are trying to kill.
I mean, that's just,
yeah, it's all theory.
Yeah. It's so nice having this Giant's Ring with a gem. Like, Boxy just walks up onto high ground, spotting Vision. Oh, but this could be the difference maker. DD rune bottom.
Oh.
Who's going to get their hands on it? Nisha still hasn't bought his rapier yet. Not enough money for that and buyback, it looks like, is what he's waiting for. And
Radiant's top tower is under
I do think there needs to be a buddy system in these fights for Secret. So like, if Puppy is making sure that he's always got that frost armor on Nisha versus Boxy, and just making sure you're not overcommitting in these fights and sticking with Nisha, allowing him to output that damage and not just die.
On the jump, disposed back. Xayah's inside the Ghost Scepter and Eon Disc pops. Vacuum in. Chrysalis is under the wall. Gets off his Starbreaker and bashes back Matu, so no Dismember, no refresher for him. As the Exo from Rezo contending with the Marcy, but in comes Liquid. They're battering down on Chrysalis. The Dawnbreaker's dead and there's Death Ward. It shreds. Resolution's got to run. Xayah's Clockwork trapped on the northern side, destroyed by Boxy's Marcy. Boxy now has fully scaled into a hard-hitting core.
He has. You say that again. Oh. Yeah, that. Try. You know, I didn't have the time to speak of Liquid's conditions to win a fight. Yeah, having a sitting on a ward like that on the high ground, having Secret run into you, that's a great way. Nice toss back by Boxy.
It's a sneaky play from Secret, but it's a bit desperate. Get in the pit. There's Illusion scouting them. And Liquid now, they've been given time. Those buybacks, you said they were down, but now a majority of them back up. As it looks like they pop the Ex Machina. They've got BKB Blink for Matu ready. Boxy, not going to get hooked, walks into the pit. And Matu shows his face there. Roshan down to half HP though. The vacuum wall. Zai, 3 of them now trapped inside the pit. Nisha trying to focus down Roshan while Matu just dismembers into Zai's clockwork. Try and catch and kill him while inside the Roche. Nisha gets burst down by Boxy in the Death Ward. Oh, let it go. Beautiful from Liquid. 2 heroes down with no buybacks, and this might just be game over. They've got the Lich, they've got the Roche, they've got game 1.
Not quite. There are 2 buybacks, and Lena's still alive, but yes, they are very, very close to it. And
It's a 5v3.
I mean, that fight was massively good for them. This Boxy Giant Spring is actually having so much impact. His ability to not have to fully commit in with like rebound. He can just pop his head in the pit, punch a couple times, and then move out of like vision for Secret. Like, it's so hard to deal with him doing all this damage on top of that. These tier 5 neutral items really changing the game.
I mean, Insania's nearly got his Death Ward back up again. It's only a 60-second cooldown.
Crazy, dude.
This Witch Dog is cracked. He's just going to come back into tier 4s. The buyback there from the Lich. I mean, it's a 6v3, having Aegis and Cheese. They've got this sidekick talent now, giving the spell immunity over to Mickey. They'll glyph up the tier 4 towers for now, Team Secret, but Liquid, what's stopping them? Just going for more. Yeah. They're biting at the base. 1 tier 4 down. Frost Shield comes out from the Lich.
Full buybacks up on Liquid.
Doesn't have the talent yet on the Lich, so there's no HP regen, and the vacuum in. Trying to drag Puppy and Rezo a bit closer. Matu being focused, down by Nisha, but the throne is open. McKay getting the damage in onto it. Trying to bring down the big building as the buyback from Matu comes in, kills Nisha, and there it is. Game over.
Oh my god. It's hard, it's definitely hard to defend with 3 people, but my god, what a game from Liquid, being in such a rough position and coming back the way they did. Their team fight execution had to be perfect, and my god, it was. Over and over again, this team showed why they deserve to stand and get to TI.